And today I'm going to be showing you how to implement the insert sort algorithm. So this is a sorting method or an algorithm that basically sorts any given arbitrary array. So let's say you have a bunch of numbers like the numbers 8, 5, 6, 2, 10. If we use this insert array, it's going to print out 2, 5, 6, 8, 10. It's going to print it out in ascending order. So basically what we're doing is we're taking the very first index value and then the second index value, and we're comparing the two. If the first one is greater than the second one, we're going to replace these two by swapping these two, and then we're going to move on and go through every single item in the array. So let's go ahead and actually print this out. So I have an insertion class right here with the method showArray. So here we're going to have the sort method. So I have our array called nums, and then I made an object of the insertion class called insertArray, just so that we can use the two methods. So let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to have a for loop that initializes I is equal to 1. So this is the second index, because remember the first index always starts at 0. And then as long as I is less than the length of the array, we're just going to loop through this entire thing. So we're going to have some value equivalent to the array at the ith index. So this is going to be the second number in our array. And then we're going to have another variable called j, which is I minus 1, because that's the one right before the second index. So we're going to have a while loop that has two conditions, and these two conditions always need to be met. So as long as j is greater than or equal to 0, and the array at j has to be greater than value. And then we're just going to, if these two conditions are met, we're just going to swap the values. So array at j plus 1 will equal the array at j. So in order to move back one step, we're just going to decrement j by 1. And then finally, it's going to go outside of the loop, and then it's just going to take the next value to your value. So let's go ahead and see what exactly is happening. So this right here is the visual representation of what's happening in this array, or what's happening in this program. So we set I is equal to 1. So it's right here. This is the index value. And val is equal to array at the at index 1. So val is equal to 5. And then j is equal to 1 minus 1, which is 0. So it's right here. So we're going to go through this while loop and see if these two conditions are met. So j has to be greater than or equal to 0, which is true. J is equal to 0. And array of j, which is array at 0, which is 8 right here, this has to be greater than val. So 8 is greater than 5, which is true. So we're going to go through this while loop right here. So array at j plus 1, so the array at j plus 1, so this 5 right here, is equal to the array at j. So what's going to happen is that this 5 gets replaced with this 8. So that's why we have this right here. And then we're going to decrease j by 1. So now it's at -1, because we have j is equal to 0 up here, and then we decrease it by 1. So j is now -1, so it's in orbit, it's like out of the bounds. And so array of j plus 1 is array of -1 plus 1, which is 0, is equal to val. So this value right here, 8, gets replaced with val, so now it's 5. So that's all good. We have the lower number on the left and then the bigger number on the right. So now we go back to the top and we increment I by 1. So I is now 2. So I is now 2. It's pointing to this column right here. So j is equal to 2 minus 1. So j is equal to, of course, 1. So while j is greater than or equal to 0, which is true, it's 1, so that's greater than 0. And array of j is greater than val. So val is array at I. So array at I is 6. So val right here is now 6. So as long as array at j, so 8 is greater than 6, which it is, we're going to go inside this loop. So array at j plus 1, so this 6 right here, because j plus 1 is this 2. Now we set that value is equal to array of j. So this now becomes an 8. And we still have this 8 right here. We're going to worry about that a bit later. So now we decrease j by 1. So j is now 5. So now we go through this while loop and we see that this is true, but this is no longer true because 5 is not greater than 8. So we don't go inside of this loop and we execute this line. So array of j plus 1, which is 8 right here, gets replaced with val. So this 6 now takes the position, or takes this value right here. And now we have 5, 6, and 8. Now, as you can see, the array is starting to get sorted. We have the values 5, 6, and 8, which is in ascending order. So this is just going to happen over and over again until this 2 goes over here, and this 10 is actually going to be in its original place because it's the largest number. So what I highly recommend you do is stop the video, and I want you to solve or basically update these values right here accordingly for the rest of the numbers and see what happens. So see why this 2 gets pushed all the way down here and why this 10 stays here. And it will make a lot of sense, and if you are able to do this, everything will click. If I go through it and I show you what's happening step by step, you're not going to learn properly. So I highly recommend you solve this on your own and try to figure out the updated values of val and the updated values of j and I and the new array that will occur after the third iteration. So a hint, I will now become 3, so this will point to here, and then a j will equal to I minus 1, so it will point to here. And now go through the while loop and see how many times it will work and see which values get shifted around. So I really hope this video helped. This is the insertion sort, and these are the type of questions that you might get asked in a technical coding interview. So if this video helped, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.